Hello again, and welcome back. Grab a coffee, sit down, get comfortable, because today's one of those conversations I think we all need to have with ourselves every once in a while. I want to talk about 10 things. 10 things you should never, ever tell another living soul. Not your neighbor, not your golf buddy, not your barber, not even that cousin who somehow always knows everybody's business before they do. Some of these are obvious. Some of these might sting a little, because you've probably broken every one of these rules at some point, myself included. So let's just sit with it together. Number 1, your regrets. Every single one of us has them. That's not a flaw. That's just what it means to have lived a long life. You make 1,000 decisions over 60, 70 years, and some of them are going to be wrong. But here's what I've come to understand about regret. A regret is a wound, and every time you tell somebody about it, you're not healing that wound. You're picking at the scab all over again. You're reliving the worst version of yourself in front of somebody else. And here's the part people don't think about. That person you told, they don't carry the weight of it. You do. They just walk away with a little piece of information about your worst moment. And sometimes, whether they mean to or not, they use it. Maybe not against you exactly, but in the back of their mind, that's how they see you now. So learn from your regrets. Sit with them. Understand them. But you don't have to hand them out like party favors.
Number 2, your pain. And listen, I don't just mean the aches and creaks that come with getting older, though heaven knows we've all got plenty of those. I mean the real pain. The stuff that sits with you at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. Share that with the people closest to you. Your spouse, maybe 1 or 2 people you trust with your whole heart. But the rest of the world does not need a running commentary on your bad knee, your bad hip, your bad days. Most people your age and mine are carrying their own aches. They're not looking to pick up yours too. And there's something else. When you constantly talk about your pain, people start to see you as the pain. Not as the person who raised a family, built a life, has stories to tell. Just as somebody who's always got something wrong with them. Don't let that become your whole identity. Number 3, your resentments. Oh, this one is a real killer, and I mean that. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison yourself and waiting for the other person to get sick. It doesn't work that way. It never has. And telling everybody about your resentment, all that does is spread the poison around to more people. It turns into gossip. It turns into people picking sides who were never even part of the original problem. If somebody's wronged you, deal with it directly if you can. Forgive it if you're able. Or quietly step back from that relationship without making a public production out of it. But do not turn your resentment into entertainment for the neighborhood. Nobody wins that game, especially not you.
Number 4, your future plans. Now this one I believe in with my whole heart, because I've lived it. If you've got a dream, a trip you want to take, a project you want to start, a business, anything, keep it quiet and go do it. When I started making these videos, I didn't tell half the people I know. Still don't. Why would I? Some of them would have laughed. Some of them would have told me I was too old for it, that nobody wants to hear an old guy talk, that it was a waste of my time. It doesn't matter what they would have said, because I didn't give them the chance to say it. If you hand your dream over to the wrong person, and trust me, there's always a wrong person somewhere nearby, they will poke holes in it before you've even taken the first step. They'll squash it, without even meaning to sometimes. So let them find out after you've already done it. Let the results speak, instead of your plans. Number 5, your finances. This is the big one, the one I think causes more grief than almost anything else on this list. The moment people find out you've come into money, an inheritance, a good pension, a second property, something shifts. Suddenly, you've got more friends than you remember collecting over the years. Suddenly, everybody wants a little bit of your time and a little bit of your wallet. I learned this one the hard way with a property I picked up down south. The second people heard about it, I had folks I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly very interested in catching up. very interested in coming to stay for a week. Keep your finances close to your chest. Your spouse, your accountant, maybe your children when it's relevant to plan for the future. The rest of the world does not need to know what's in your bank account.
Number 6, family conflicts. Every family has them. Every single one, no exceptions. But when you start telling the neighbors, the folks at church, the fellas down at the coffee shop about the argument you had with your son or the tension with your daughter-in-law, you're not solving a thing. You're making it permanent. Words about family, once they're out in the world, they have a way of traveling back around, usually in a worse version than how you said them. Handle your family matters inside the family. That's exactly where they belong, and nowhere else. Number 7, your fears. Now, I'm not saying you can't be honest with your spouse or a close friend about being afraid sometimes. That's healthy. That's human. What I mean is the constant broadcasting of every worry that crosses your mind. Am I going to run out of money before I run out of years? Am I going to end up alone? Am I going to get sick the way my father did? These are heavy things to carry, and if you're handing them out to everybody you meet, you become known as the worrier, the one who always brings the dark cloud into the room. Save your fears for the 1 or 2 people who can actually sit with you in them and work through the rest quietly, through prayer, through a long walk, through a good night's sleep when you can get one. Number 8, the full details of your health. This is a little different from pain, which I mentioned earlier. This is specific. Your diagnosis, your test results, the medications you're on. Share what's necessary with your doctor and your immediate family, the people actually responsible for your care. But you don't owe the whole street a play-by-play of your last checkup. Some things are simply nobody's business but your own and the people looking after you. Number 9, your passwords, account numbers, and personal security details. I know, this sounds obvious when I say it out loud, but you would be amazed how many people our age get a little too trusting, especially with someone who seems kind, someone who offers to help with the computer or the banking. Never hand that information over. Not to a stranger, not to a new friend, not even to family, unless it's absolutely necessary and written down somewhere secure. There are people out there who specifically target seniors because they assume we're an easy mark. Don't give them the opportunity. Number 10, and this last one might surprise you, your good deeds. If you've quietly helped somebody, given a little money to a family in need, done a kindness for a neighbor without being asked, let it stay quiet. The moment you start telling people what you did for somebody else, it stops being kindness and starts being a performance. The best gifts are the ones that only you and the person who received them will ever know about. That's where the real reward lives anyway, not in the telling of it, in the doing of it. So that's the list. 10 things to hold close. Your regrets, your pain, your resentments, your plans, your finances, your family conflicts, your fears, your health details, your private information, and even your good deeds. Keep them close, keep them quiet, and let your life do the talking instead. Now, what should you share freely without holding back? Your kindness, your sense of humor, your stories from the years behind you, your wisdom, hard-earned, your photographs and your memories. Give those away generously, because that's what people will actually remember you for, long after everything else is forgotten. And remember, the world doesn't owe you its full understanding, and you don't owe the world yours either. Nobody fully understands anybody, and that's all right. The people who matter will stay regardless. So keep some things sacred, share the rest freely, and above all, keep striving for a little peace in the years you've got left. That's the 10 things. If this one hit home for you today, take a look at the other videos linked here. And if you've got a moment, hit the like button. It really does help these thoughts reach more people like us. Take care of yourselves out there.